The luxury market is in fuego. Inman News published this week the top 10 sales year to date in 2025, and people are shelling out the bucks. There's plenty of abundance out there. I know we see a lot of bad news and then we feel like it's tough times and there's scarcity, but find the river of abundance because it's flowing, and I'm going to show you right now. So, the number one sale year to date, Naples, Florida, $225 million. It was for 3 adjacent waterfront estates. Number 2 sale, Palm Beach, Florida, $177 million. It's on Ocean Boulevard. It's rumored, by the way, to be an executive from Microsoft who bought it. Number 3, Miami Beach, Florida, for $120 million. A tech entrepreneur bought that. Number 4, a Los Angeles mansion, $110 million, was just bought by James Packer. Number 5, back to Miami Beach, $105 million mansion on Indian Creek Island next to Bezos' house. You know, that's your neighbor, not a bad neighbor. Another Miami, Florida, $82 million, Bay Point waterfront estate. Finally, we get out of Miami and California. We go to New York for number 7, $82.5 million for a little penthouse above Central Park. Back to Miami Beach, $74 million for a waterfront mansion. Over to Palm Beach, $73 for an oceanfront estate. Came though furnished with some Martin furnishing. And then finally back to New York for a $66 million penthouse apartment overlooking Central Park. Now, let's do this. I'm going to actually show it to you. It's the weekend. It's hot. It's fun. Hopefully maybe you're killing a little bit of time. Let's see what some of these houses look like, what some of these properties. Here's the Inman article. Here you go. They put a picture of it, and you can actually go to the listing on each one. This is the one for Naples, Florida. As you can see, it's 3 gigantic lots. Here's the other thing. I think Wall Street Journal had an article on this last week. What's crazy is these super rich billionaires are buying these super expensive properties, and then they're just tearing them down and starting over. Like, okay, they spent $200 million on this, but it's a tear down. This looks like a beautiful property in Naples, Florida. The next property we talked about here is in Palm Beach. You don't really get a lot of pictures on it. By the way, in each of these descriptions, they give kind of like a chain of title. So they tell you who's owned it, and they're all notable people. You know, especially when you get to the Hollywood properties. It's like one movie star sells a movie star sells another movie star. You're going to recognize a lot of these names. I'm not going to spend time reading them off. You can check it out. Here's the one on Star Island, $120 million. Here's the one back. Here's the first one in Los Angeles, you know, which is not even complete. It's a new construction. You know, crazy how much money is just flowing all around, isn't it? Indian Creek Road, $105 million, Miami Beach. Not a great picture. Here you go, Sabal Palm Road in Miami, Florida. Pretty good oceanfront lot. You know, looks like that lot is wall-to-wall house. I wonder how big that house is. I think they say in here it's something crazy. It's a 20,500 foot estate. That's kind of big. I guess you could have your in-law stay if you wanted. Here we go to Billionaires Row in New York, that $82 million condo we talked about. Now back to Miami Beach. Nice beachfront here, really beautiful. It has two docks, 2 private docks, a lot of beachfront property. That looks like a great property if you have a spare $80 million. It's 12 bedroom, 22,000 square feet estate. Holy schmoes. It just previously sold for 74, so it hasn't really gone up much in value in the last couple of years. Here's a Palm Beach for $73 million. Kind of looks a little stuffy to me, but if you had to do it, you could do it. Back to Central Square, nice little penthouse, and then we get to go to Honolulu, Hawaii. And this one has actually 4 different addresses on the property, so you can have a little compound for you and your family. That might make it a little bit more affordable. This Beverly Hill Park one, you'll see the chain of title is quite a few who's who of people. You know, you can see here Mark Wahlberg and his wife Rhea Durham bought it in June, and then it was bought by Paris Hilton and her husband, and now she's selling it to some other famous person. You kind of get it. So that's the deal. So, but here's my message today. It's like topics on the weekend. There's a lot of abundance out there. If you wanted to go buy a Ferrari, it's a waiting list. And if you want the premium, the most recent model, unless you are a prime customer, like you bought a ton of cars, you're not getting one. Like, there is so much money flowing. And if you find that you're not in that stream of abundance, maybe reposition yourself. And I know that sounds easy for me to say, but maybe quit going upstream, fight so hard upstream, and turn around and flow with that abundance. Find it in your marketplace. Find the people that are trying to buy property. Find the people people that are trying to create wealth through real estate. Find the people that have the resources and means to do that. And then you know what? You may find yourself in abundance too. I hope this is a positive message. I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. I did a LinkedIn post on this. Check me out on LinkedIn. I will put a link to the Inman article below, but I realize it's probably behind a firewall. Nevertheless, I'll post the link below. I think they allow you a certain amount of clicks on it before you have to subscribe or something like that. With that, have a great weekend. Stay cool.